I told my brother he got exactly what he deserved when he pushed his girlfriend away for being a gold digger. My brother Danny and I used to be super close growing up. We'd spend hours playing video games in his basement room that smelled like Doritos and Axe body spray. But everything changed when he started dating Mia about 3 years ago. At first, I thought she was cool. She was studying accounting at the community college and worked part-time at this little coffee shop downtown. She always wore these beat-up Converse sneakers and would bring Danny homemade cookies in old Tupperware containers. Nothing fancy about her at all. But Danny started getting weird ideas in his head. He'd complain to me about how Mia would suggest they go out to dinner sometimes, or how she mentioned wanting to move out of her tiny studio apartment that had a leaky ceiling. He started keeping track of every time she'd let him pay for things, writing it down in this little notebook like he was building a case against her. The breaking point came last summer when Mia got accepted into a 4-year university about 2 hours away. She was so excited. It was this huge deal for her because her family never had money for college, and she'd been saving up for years while taking classes part-time. She asked Danny if he'd consider moving with her, maybe finding a job in the new city. Danny completely lost it. He showed up at my apartment that night with red eyes, ranting about how she was just using him to fund her dream life, and how she expected him to drop everything and follow her around. I tried to tell him that wasn't what it sounded like, but he wouldn't listen. The next week, he broke up with her over text, just completely ghosted her after 2.5 years together. He told everyone who would listen that she was a gold digger who was trying to manipulate him into paying her way through college. I knew this was garbage because I'd seen their relationship up close. Mia bought groceries for them half the time, and she was always trying to find free or cheap things for them to do together. She'd pack picnics for hiking trips and suggest movie nights at home instead of going to the theater. She wasn't asking him to pay for her school. She had scholarships and student loans figured out. About 6 months after the breakup, Danny started dating this girl Ashley from his work. Ashley was the complete opposite of Mia. She worked at a high-end salon, drove a brand new BMW that her dad bought her, and expected Danny to take her to expensive restaurants every weekend. Within 3 months, Danny had blown through his savings account trying to keep up with Ashley's lifestyle. She'd post Instagram stories of the fancy meals he'd buy her, the expensive jewelry he'd surprise her with, weekend trips to resort towns that cost him thousands. His credit cards were maxed out, and he started asking our parents for money. Then Ashley met some rich guy at her gym who owned a chain of fitness centers. She dumped Danny over Instagram DM while he was at work, posting pictures with her new boyfriend the same day. Danny called me sobbing, saying he'd lost everything and didn't understand how someone could be so heartless. He wanted me to feel sorry for him, to tell him Ashley was just a terrible person and he deserved better. Instead, I told him the truth. I said he got exactly what he deserved for pushing away someone who actually cared about him because he was paranoid about money. That while he was worried about Mia being a gold digger, he completely missed the fact that she never asked him for anything expensive and was planning to build a life with him, not off of him. I told him that Mia, who was now thriving at her new school and dating a guy from her study group, had dodged a bullet when he showed his true colors, and that maybe if he'd spent less time keeping score and more time appreciating what he had, he wouldn't have ended up broken alone. He hung up on me, and we didn't talk for 2 months.